ladder.
Mm.
I don't remember much other than that, except I know he's a very, very good player. And actually, when I think about it, I'm pretty sure he's won every game we've played. He's he's a very, very good Terran.
All right. So it looks like we are just about to hop into this match. I think we're going to have a short map intro, and we'll see you on the no map intro. We're going into the game with no map intro. That is the best part about my favorite human, Hawkeye, because I get to be wrong for like 2 seconds, and that's all. That's all I'm allowed. I'm allowed to be wrong for 2 seconds, and then bam, Hawkeye is there. He's like, actually, you're incorrect. And it's like, oh, fantastic. So the first map is going to be Orbital Shipyard, and we are jumping right into it now. Starting off, we have spawning over here the Teal Terran of terrorizing terrorists. It's Greenert.
And his opponent, down in the bottom left, we have got the red Terran, Cloud M's Jason. So, TVT. Cyclones and Liberators are some of the newer units we see here in LOTV. Do we see in TVT, since I'm not as familiar with this matchup, do we see Liberators being used pretty frequently, or Cyclones?
It's weird. The Cyclone in the beginning of Void was this like really wild superpower and then unpowerful. A lot of times, except for some very strange like fast mech styles in TVZ, it's just like you get the safety Cyclone to make sure you can deal with a Banshee or a drop or something like that. But in TVT, it's like one, maybe two Cyclones at most. I've seen some like crazy, just like pure marine tank, like almost harkening back to Wings of Liberty styles. A lot of that coming up. But I think one of the cool things that I like about casting tournaments like these, where it's not the GSL, is that there's so much variety and strategy and play style that we could see almost anything right now.
Right, and I love that. I love to see some of the crazy styles I haven't seen before. So I'm excited to see what these players do. We've got Jason. He is now expanding, getting a Reaper as well. We've got a Factory, though, coming out a little bit quicker for Greenert. So like you said, maybe we'll see a quicker Cyclone for drop defense. But I guess anything is possible with that Factory still.
Yep, absolutely. Greenert going down that tech path. Maybe we'll get a starport quite quickly. And there we have it. This nice little move where Greenert's going to be able to have a lot of different options with tech. He could move into tanks quite quickly, could swap it over for some from starport aggression. In the meantime, Jason's going to use this Reaper to get a good scout off, see what's going on, and take a much faster expansion going into a little heavier bio with the double racks. Going up to 2 Reapers now. And it looks like he's, yes, finally all done with the Reapers. Just a couple. Nothing too crazy.
And this Reaper Scout, if Greenert allows him in, it'll get some good information. It'll tell him there's no expansion yet. Something scary might be happening in the future. It'll give Jason that information that maybe he needs to prepare for something.
Yeah, it's just really hard to engage these Reapers as Marines from the high ground with that Reaper bomb, so he might get a nice little free supply depot kill here. Nicely done, getting pretty good hits and keeping them away. Oh my god, the clutch repair! It's so dramatic. Oh, and he even loses a Reaper. Oh no. You really wanted that. And Greenert waiting to the absolute last second to pull that repair off, Jason. Overextended just a bit in the end, ended up losing a Reaper. Too bad. So sad.
It was close, but Jason didn't actually. I don't think he got to see anything really going on there in that main base yet. We do have actually cloaking coming out for these Banshees now that are about to pop out.
Yep, he did manage to see double gas and a factory, so that's at least gonna give him some hope. Some maybe you can deduce that fast tech is en route. It looks like he does have that Cyclone in place to deal with the potential incoming Banshee. And here's the full scout. Sees the cloak, second Banshee on the way. And most importantly, that expansion timing. So he knows what kind of situation he's in. And that is the defender's situation. He's got the better economy. If he can hold on here without too many losses, he'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, and right now, I mean, the eBay's done. There are missile turrets coming up as we speak. So Jason probably going to be okay versus these Banshees. He did scout that in time.
Yep, really fast response over here. Banshee's going to come in, see, and get a little bit of movement over here. 2 Cyclones over here. Wow. The scan on top, the 2 Cyclones. That is one dead Banshee. You're not getting out of there at all. He's like... He's had some like traumatic experiences with Banshees in the past. Like, that's it! I'm building 2 Cyclones, and I'm gonna scan before he even cloaks! He's gonna die! And then he did. You know, it was successful. Good job for Jason there. Absolutely wrecking that Banshee.
It was, and Banshees aren't that cheap either. That was pretty big.
Yep, definitely a nice move. Gonna be moving over into that 3 racks factory starport setup on 2 base that we all know and love. Starting to round out that unit composition. And, you know, relatively quick +1 over here for both of the players. And just very defensive. Jason, very, very defensive here, realizing he's got that economic lead. It is slight, but it's there, and you can see it starting to manifest in the supplies.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Greenert is just starting to get his natural kind of settled, and Jason, he's had his for a while, so the economic difference, like you said, it's going to show itself soon. We actually have another command center on the way now for Jason, so he's looking to be in a pretty good spot.
When you're ahead, get more ahead, as the great Artosis has said. Gonna go ahead and get that command center, stay a base ahead all the time, and, you know, a couple of sensor towers coming, 2 sensor towers, that is really intense. He definitely does not want to get dropped at all in the slightest. He's going to be totally safe from anything coming at him. That's fantastic, and he's going to go ahead and begin the tank evac. One of my favorite silly fun things. Got a nice little high ground section over here. Maybe take out a couple of Marines. Nice spread over here. These scouting Marines looking for this, but they're not going to see it. Really fortunate timing there for Greenert going down the middle when the Marines would not scout. I'm going to go ahead and wail away at this just a bit. Tank evac first, tank evac.
I'm almost curious. I guess it would all depend on positioning here, on who would win in tank evac versus tank evac.
Yeah, it's kind of that. Well, there's a pretty long cooldown right between each shot, so it's about timing that cooldown, picking up before you get hit, and making sure that's all set. So Greenert doing some good targeting there, some proper timing, and gonna stay alive for now. Getting a little dangerous. These Marines are focusing it down. Oh my God, both of them eliminated. Excellent done by Jason, who is already in a good spot. Is now in a position to secure a 3rd base here.
Yeah, I bet Jason, he's floating his command center, his orbital right over at the moment. I'm sure he's feeling pretty safe at this time.
Yeah, the one potential advantage for Greenert here is this army. It is slightly smaller than Jason's army, but he needs to find a way to get something done with it, or he's just going to keep sort of compounding the lead of his opponent, or the deficit of himself here.
Yeah, and I think now Greenert is moving out, I feel like he's thinking, you know, I've got to do something now, or else I'm really going to be behind. Do you think this attack is going to get a lot done, or do you think that maybe Greenert should be doing something else at this moment?
It's a tough situation. I gotta commend Jason here for, look at the vision. It's fantastic. He's got Marines all over the place, and he's got that 1 sensor tower in the middle, so he's gonna know what's going on. He'll even be able to scout the expansions as they come. So at this point in time, Jason's in a pretty secure position, and Greenert, I think, gonna have to look for some mistakes from Jason to capitalize on it, but it goes the other way around. Greenert making the mistake there and donating a Banshee to Jason, who thankfully takes the donation. No questions asked.
Yeah, and I feel like now, you know, Greenert, his orbital is just finishing, and is just finishing its transformation here, and it's 9 minutes with no 3rd. That orbital won't reach over to the 3rd location very soon. He's going to be very behind on minerals very, very soon.
Yeah, right around that 9-minute mark is where we see the small patches, the half patches, mine out. It's very important to remember that, especially with those mules. See the incomes getting pretty far behind for Greenert here. Interesting, Jason's moving forward to make an attack. If he overcommits here, that could be Greenert's chance to come back into this. As the player with the economic lead, he doesn't need to attack, but he may see a moment to capitalize on weakness here.
We do have Liberators out now for Greenert, and if he positions those correctly, he could get a lot of kills off. A lot of times I've seen players come back just from really good use from Liberators.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you have the defender's advantage from the rally. You have the defender's advantage from setting up with this Liberator, and he is just making the one for now. So it's all going to be about positioning here, making sure that Greenert can get a nice concave. Oh, and here we go. It looks like he's moving in. He's going to drop on top of these tanks. One goes down. The second goes down very quickly. There's a lot of Marines for Greenert up on the top here. He's making a nice concave towards the top section. He's moving in. Oh, my God. And all of these medevacs are so close. Just making it out.
A lot of tanks died in that.
Lot of tanks.
Pretty well. That worked pretty well there for Greenert. However, if we look at the army supplies,
oh, he's going
the
for
army
interception.
Still favors Jason. But he could, yeah, he could get some pickups there.
A little bit of lack of stutter stepping there is gonna miss a couple of kills that he could have gotten there. But now we have the big rally coming in from Jason. A little bit of an overextension from Greenert here. The only reason he was able to engage before was because he had defender's advantage, and now it's lost. Jason is going to take game one.
GG, well played though. Greenert did really well in defending that attack.
Absolutely. If he could have managed to hold on to a third base and move forward, I think he would have done pretty well. But that game was lost sort of early on. He went for this more aggressive build where he got some more tech and army quickly, but he delayed the expansion, wasn't able to get too much damage out of it. So, you know, he was left behind, and just a lot of really intelligent decision making from Jason to clean it up and finish it off. We have a best of 3, is that right? Excellent. So we have a best of 3. This is the best.
I am wondering if Greenert will try something different, or if he maybe wants to try that build again. I feel like Jason really got a good scout on that. He saw those 2 quick gas. He saw that factory and probably had a very good idea of what was about to come.
Yeah, absolutely. He saw the risk that was coming in there, that was being made, the movement into short-term advantage, and he had already gone for the relatively